I'm Julie Samaka with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and we teach you how to make and sell them. And that's what we're doing. This video is just some tips on selling, but not necessarily selling. In other words, there's sometimes you have to look at your business and you have to make adjustments and make shifts in your mind before you can make a sale. And one of these things is creating, or the secret to creating, a super fan or a fan base or a following base. It does take time and effort, and I wanted just to kind of go through that on how you can use it to help your business and give you the tips and secrets that I have shared with my inner circle. Now, what is a super fan? So a fan or a super fan is one of those fans who can't wait to hear what you have to say next. They tune in no matter what time of day it is. A fan is one of those fans who they don't even need to be a wreath maker. They just want to buy from you so that they can hear you speaking more. They want to just be everything about you, okay? So that is what I call a super fan, a fan that tunes in, who for some reason algorithm changes the Facebook algorithms and they can't see your content anymore, but they still come back to your page time and time again because they can't wait to see what you're going to put out, what you're going to do next. They subscribe to you on your YouTube channel. They follow you on Facebook. They follow you on Pinterest. Those are fans, okay? So that is important in our business. A fan will also shout it to the rooftops what you've got going on. Maybe not to the rooftops nowadays because a lot of things are on social media and digitally, but they'll go into Facebook groups and they'll comment on other people's posts. And, you know, somebody might be looking for a tutorial and my fans will say, hey, go look at Southern Charm Wreaths on YouTube. You know, they do all of this. So that's the fan. That's what I'm talking about, building a fan base, building a super fan, okay? So some of you are already fans and you just don't know it. You don't call yourself a fan. So for example, I'm a huge fan of Disney. I don't know if you know that about me, but I love all things Disney. I watch all of their movies, even when they're made for little kids. I don't care if it's a cartoon, 3D, I'm there. I'm a Disney fan. I follow all the Disney groups on Facebook. I go to Disney World way too much. Whenever Disney comes out with anything new, I'm always the first thing in line, first person in line. You know, I mean, I'm the type of person that I'll go to Disney and I'll come home with Disney canisters. What possessed me at that moment that I needed matching Disney canisters for like my kitchen? No clue. And I don't even use them. I usually don't even take them out of the box, but I'm just such a huge fan of all things Disney. I tend to go all in with them. So I just consume all of their content. That is what I'm talking about, a super fan. I'm a super fan of Disney. My husband, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Anything Pittsburgh Steelers. He's wearing the jersey. He's got the hat. He's got whatever that stupid towel is that they always fly. You know what I'm saying? He's got everything Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a super fan. My son is a super fan of Marvel, you know, everything Marvel. He wants to watch the movies and read the comics and if there's video games and, you know, he's just everything there is to know about all of it. What Marvel character does what. He's a super fan of Marvel Comics. So that's what I'm talking about as a super fan. And you can create this too for your own creative business. You can create these super fans or these fans who want to help you in your business. Okay, so there's a few things I want to talk to you about. That's what I'm just looking at my notes. So I realized the importance of fans by accident. Okay, so my first ebook that I wrote we had, you know, the ebook and some bonus tutorials, and we also had a forum that was attached to the ebook purchase. So in this forum, people could share what they're creating, because of the ebook is how to create or how to make deco mesh reads. I still sell that ebook today. And people can share in the forum. Right now it's a Facebook group, but it used to be a forum where they could upload photos. They could share their struggles. They can share their pretty things that they made. They could share tips on where to buy signs, things like that, right? But they would also have these issues like, I don't know how to word this on my Etsy shop. And I would come in and I would help teach things like keyword searches and stuff like that. I would also teach about how to grow a Facebook page, and I would also teach about how, you know, to work Pinterest and use Pinterest to get your brand noticed more on regarding your deco mesh reads. All of this took place inside of that private forum that came with the purchase of an ebook. Now, I didn't sell that information to them. I just gave it to them for free. I gave it to them because I wanted to help them. I saw they're struggling and I wanted to help them. So I started doing that. And before I know it, they are recommending my ebook to people that I didn't even know of. So I'm going to there were a couple of people that did this consistently, but one of them's name was Jordan. So he would comment and tag in Facebook groups that you've got to buy this book. It's got so much information. It's very detailed. I learned how to do it through her, and, you know, just constantly recommending it. And then the next day never fails. I would have 10, 15, 20, sometimes 100 more sales just from recommendations of that Superfan. I didn't ask him to go share. I didn't pay him a commission, although probably should have. You know, I didn't know anything like that. I just was trying to do good. I was just trying to help out friends, fellow people who were in my, in my customer base. They were my customers. So I was just trying to help them. That is when I realized how powerful Superfans could be, how powerful having that fan base for your brand helps you. It helps you, not only makes you feel good to help other people, it shows your fans that you care more than just making a buck. You care about them as a person, as an individual. You really want them to succeed, okay? So when you start giving more content and you start seeing your followers and your fans as more than dollar signs, the residual is sales. I mean, that's just something that happens automatically, and it seriously is a lot easier to do than to get on live here and try to get you to go buy something, right? For you to get on live and for you to go stand on a street corner and try to get you to pedal and push and hustle your items, it's a lot easier when you get in front of somebody and you say, this is why we do something. This is why, right here. You know, things like that. It creates that fan base for you. So let's see, I'm getting off track. I just want to stick to my notes that I've written, and then I'm going to come back in and answer your questions. I am a regular person, you guys. A stay-at-home mom is how I started out this business, creating and trying to make pretty things for my own home. I couldn't afford it to go out and buy designer stuff because I didn't have an income. Only the husband had his income. I was penny pinching. So I was like, I'm going to create this stuff myself. Then my neighbors wanted it, and then they were thinking I should sell it. I mean, this is how I started. And for me to walk in a store and people hear my voice and swing around and go, oh my gosh, are you Julie? You know, they are a fan. I still cannot get used to that. I hope I never do. I hope I'm very grounded. I want to always be the person that's very relatable. I just want y'all to know this too for your own creative businesses. I am nothing spectacular. I am a regular person. You are a regular person. You too can also have fans and super fans who are wanting to be in everything that you have going on in your business, want to help you spread the word about your business. Okay, so these are my tips on how things that I've noticed that I've done in the past to help get that super fan base going. And maybe you can use this for your own business too. Okay, so it doesn't matter how big or how small you are. So, I mean, I started out with one customer just like everybody else. So, in fact, the smaller your business is, the easier it is to happen because you have more time on your hands. For example, me, I mean, now I've got like 100,000 on this Facebook page, and we've got over 30,000 on YouTube, and 30,000 or some 60,000 on Pinterest. I mean, it's just hard to give you that personal touch, that personal fan hug, virtual hug, if you will, versus when you're small. Okay, so when you guys are smaller, starting out, and you don't have as many to give that virtual hug to, you actually have an advantage. So you can now start to make changes on how you relate to people, how you answer their questions, how you advise them, how you give it direction to. If you can't give an answer, help somebody else, help them by sending them to someplace else. If I don't know how to do something, I'm not going to say and sit here and pretend that I know how to do it. I'm going to say, you know what, this is not my expertise. Go check out this person. She's who I would recommend going to. I'm recommending you to somebody else because I'm that person's super fan, and I am sharing that person with you. So that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be just, you have to pay attention on how you're relating. If you don't know the answer to somebody's question, don't ignore it. You could try to help them out with it or send them to somebody else who can. If you have a huge order that you just technically can't take, or you just don't feel like you can muster up the energy or the time or the resources, share that customer with somebody else that might be your competition, because it's not about you and your money. It's not about you and your sale. It's about your fan base, okay? So here are some tips for you guys. Number one, to remember who you're speaking to. It looks to me, I'm going to take a picture of it right now. To me, it's a camera. I don't see anything but a camera. So it's a little harder when you're not in a room and you're looking at somebody's facial expressions and their hair and what they're wearing and what their background could be and all of that. You have to just look at the camera and you have to think, who are the other people on the other side of this camera? What are their emotions? What struggles are they having? What do they have pets? What problems are they having to deal with on a day-to-day basis? Is it making the mortgage? Is it they've got sick parents that they're trying to deal with? They've got medical bills that they're trying to overcome and pay off, or maybe they've got young kids that they are having to deal with and they're screaming in the background and they're trying to get through their daily life without having a nervous breakdown. Maybe it's they're lonely. Maybe they don't have anybody else to talk to in their daily life, and so they tune in to you guys on your Facebook Lives. Think about all of these things before you just get on a camera and you try to hook them with a sale. That's not how it works. You have to remember you're talking to actual people with feelings and problems and loneliness and depression and everything else. That just look at your own family. I mean, whatever is going on in your own family is typically going on with your audience. You know what I mean? So there's loss and heartache and people who are just interested in crafting, and people who are wanting to buy more from you. But there's a mixture of all of it. So we have to remember this when we get on our Facebook Lives, when we put our Facebook post out there, when we decide to create a product to put out there. We have to relate to our fan base. And when you start relating to your fan base, just like I gave you the examples before, they help you to build your brand. They help you to push your product. They help you to spread your word, okay? So it's very important. For example, if you were to look at your mother, would you say your mother is a super fan? My mom loves me very much, but she is not my fan. She is not a super fan of me. She doesn't tune into my Facebook Lives. She doesn't join my mailing list. She's just not there. She's excited to hear about my successes, but she doesn't tune in and watch everything I've got going on. Not like a super fan would. So would I look to her and try to make a sale to her? You know what I'm saying? No. You got to relate to them. I've got to ask her about her life, and I've got to see what her struggles are, and I've got to relate to her, talk to her, have a conversation. You don't just look to them to try to make a sale. Just like a family member, your husband, you try to relate to people, okay? Just don't always think of trying to hook a sale. Other things that you could think of is to give really good content. So give content that helps your fans to be better in their daily life. It could be better in their business. It could be better in their skill or craft they're trying to make. It could be better on how to be better pet owners. It could be a product, that you love and that you want to recommend to somebody else. So give content that is useful and helpful to your fans already. So give a even if you're creating your products and stuff, you want to give great product, great content. If you're doing to make really good fans after a sale, it would be really quick shipping. It would be really quick emails and conversation that happens before the sale. That is what makes a good customer want to come back to you and be a fan of yours. Okay, if I have somebody who comes to me and they give me their order and I provide for them and I super exceed what they expected from me and they got great value for their price, they automatically share my name and number and my business card with their friends. So I create a fan with my customer that way. So you give great content, give freebies, so if you are already creating something, and let's say a tangible product, for me it would be a wreath. For you it could be something that you're sewing. For you it could be that Afghan that you quilted. For you it could be that cake that you decorated for somebody or a cookie that you decorated for somebody. Think about what you already do and then ask yourself, how can I improve this? How can I give more? So for example, for me, a wreath. Sometimes I put a wreath in a box, and in order for it to fit, I have a little extra room. So why not create a bow that matches their mailbox and it matches the wreath that they just bought from you? So it's a free thing for them. It's a freebie. You didn't ask for extra money. You just went out of your way a little bit to provide something extra. Didn't cost extra to ship. It cost maybe $2, $3 for the ribbon. You know what I'm saying? So you could go out of your way to do little things. Sometimes you could throw in a door hanger. If they're putting it on a door, they might want a door hanger. If you're doing cookies and you sell cookies, you know how there's those cookies that break. Why not just bag them up and then give them as a free bonus? It could be tasting of different flavors. You could just give them a little extra of something they didn't actually intend on receiving. If you decorate cakes, you know how sometimes you have that extra batter left over or you cut off that extra cake? What if you could create cake balls with it and you not sold them, but just try to hand off a little bit extra to that person? They already bought the cake, you know, and you have the extra cake, you could extra icing, you might be able to make something a little extra for them. And I'm not saying give away the kitchen sink. I'm just saying think about what you make in your own business that you could just give something away for free. Just a little bonus, okay? That's all I'm saying. So that giving great content always helps. Whenever I create a digital product, I always try to give them a bonus. So for my Wreath Making of the Month Club, I'm always coming in with a bonus video for them because I really want them to succeed. I want to give way more than what they opted in for, okay? Things like that. So hope you guys are resonating with this. I hope that you are understanding the importance of giving and having super fan followers, and it just makes a huge impact on the business. Number one, when people start to tune in and follow and listen to you, you become an expert in that field. You become an expert in your niche. And I know a lot of you are still thinking in your head, I don't get it. How does that help me make money? How does it help me make that sale? How does that work? And I'm telling you, because you're not putting the sale first, you're putting the person first, you're putting your customer first, you're putting whoever's behind that camera, whoever is buying that digital product, you're putting them first, and so you give more than what they expect from you, and they just get a better value from you, so they become fans of you. They are quicker to respond to you, quicker to share that video, quicker to reply to that email. You know what I mean? So that's how it works. It's just you giving more great content, great information, great little, you know, freebies in your boxes and shipping boxes, and helps to build up that fan base, and that they'll come back to you for more. They'll share your business card with people. They'll share your videos and stuff like that. Thank you for sharing, by the way, this video. So that's how it works for you. Switch up. So this would be my last tip. It's just to switch it up what you've been offering. If you have a blog and you're only writing blog content in Word format, try switching it up, instead doing a video. If you sell digital products and you're just selling that one ebook, give some bonuses away. You know, switch it up. If you already have an email list and you're already selling stuff that are digital products, give some away for free, just to switch it up, just to say thank you. I just want to thank you for being a follower of mine and on my email list, and I value you. And here is a freebie for you. Just switch things up, and it will help, because you get going into this groove and you don't really think about these things. Switch it up. If you have a small membership group, and I mean small, that is affordable for you, why not mail them something, you know, something tangible, a pen, or a ribbon roll, or whatever. Why not think of doing something like that, you know, to help with just to say thank you, you know, for your members. So you can do things to give extras that you can help to build up that fan base and to make super fans out of the fans who already follow you. Fans help you to sell your product, whether you know it or not. Whether you try to or not, good fans will help sell your product. They will help you spread your message further. They will also, I mean, for example, just take any artist, I mean, what do you call them? Movie stars. You know what I'm saying? Who are on movies and television and stuff like that. They get behind a cause and they do advertising for a cause, or they go on their social media and do a cause. They're spreading the message of that cause. So your fan base and your super fans can also help you to spread a message that's passionate to you, that you feel like you should, you know, either get your business behind and support, or it might be your own message, or it could also, your fan base can get behind you on a movement. So for example, for me, I'm huge this last year coming out and saying, you know what, I just think we ought to get away from competition. We should not be each other's competition. Instead, we should be building each other up. If I need to help you to be better at your wreath making so that you could be better, guess what? It's going to make the wreath making industry better as a whole. When we all come together and help each other out, there's going to be more sales. And when that's more sales, guess what? There's going to be more people who sell the product for wreath making. When there's more people who sell the product for wreath making, guess what? Prices are going to go down on those supplies because there's more competition for them too. So I'm just saying that when we all come together and stop looking at each other as competition, but instead building each other up, not guarding what we've learned over the years as secrets, but instead fully giving them out and helping other people become better at their craft, it just is, it's so beneficial because we all as an industry, can be better and grow. All right, so it becomes more. I mean, I know that wreath making is huge in the US, but not in all parts of the US, just certain areas. A lot of people will say, gosh, I think it's saturated. It's not. I mean, look, people in Canada can hardly even get supplies. So it's just, we just need to stop being so focused on, I think I'm getting off tangent here, but I'm trying to just get more people to understand that the wreath making industry has way more potential to grow. So we need to all lift each other up now, help each other out. That's my message. And if I can get this out there, then I hope you as my fans will help to see that and spread that around. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to hone in on how your fans, your customers, your super followers can take your message and also share it with the world to get that message out for you. So it's amazing the things that will happen in your own life, in your own business, when you begin to impact other people's lives, other people's businesses. All right. So I was just hoping that I could come on here and talk to you about the importance of that fan base, of creating fans, of building that audience, of giving more than you expect to receive. It has made a huge impact on my business creation, my business growth, and think to yourself, ask these questions. What can I start doing now? What can I start to do to grow my own fan base? How can I give back more? What is my audience needing that I can give to them? Okay, so when you start thinking like that, it makes them better, and in result will make you a better person for it. Your creative business will stop being about your craft and the money, and it will be more about the people's lives that you impacted, the people's lives that you change. That is way more, that is huge and more important than any dollar amount that they could ever give you when you start changing people's lives, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's not about the money. It's not. It's about the lives that you're changing. It's about the other people on the side of that camera that are listening to you on a constant basis. Keep that in mind when you're doing your lives and building up your Facebook following and giving your tutorials and stuff away, okay? All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me. Again, if you have questions, comment below, and have a very wonderful rest of the week.